please. His opponents are saying to this very day the same rhetoric that led to those 2 assassination attempts.
What do you do when the people get it wrong? Because sometimes they do.
Scott Jennings on CNN is good.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh my God, he's great.
he's great.
It's
like
just funny watching him
logic
speak
and reason.
logically to these people.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a good Saturday. And before I show you these 3 videos that I think you're going to highly enjoy, I got to put on this button that my daughter made me, and she asked me to wear it on the next video, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw that on here real quick. Number 1, best dad. So like I said, I got 3 videos that you absolutely have to see, especially the last one with Bill Maher, because it's just insane. But before we get into that, check out this special offer from this episode's sponsor, noblegoldinvestments.com.
How fast can market sentiment change? In an instant. Just ask Nvidia investors. Nearly $600 billion in market value wiped out overnight. No warning, no second chances. Noble Gold Investments is alerting all clients. Diversify right now. Market crashes don't wait. They strike fast, devastating the unprepared. But smart investors, they're already one step ahead, protected and prepared. For nearly a decade, my friends at Noble Gold Investments have helped thousands protect their wealth with gold IRAs and physical gold. With over $2 billion in precious metal sales, Noble Gold is the trusted choice for Americans serious about financial security. It's real. It's yours. It retains value. And now, when you open a qualified account, you'll receive 2 5-ounce Silver America the Beautiful coins for free. Are you diversified? If not, when will you act? When your portfolio is down 10, 20, 30%? Or will you protect your portfolio right now? I promise you, the next market crash will not send a warning. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. Or call 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. Don't just grow your wealth, guard it. And remember, there's always a risk of investment, and there are no guarantees of any kind.
All right, so our first video is from the new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, as she completely levels an ABC News host who has no response during a pretty heated debate over the Democrats' heated rhetoric.
You want to talk about violence against political opponents? Let's talk about the fact that Democrats have been labeling President Trump a threat to democracy for the better half of 10 years. Let's talk about how they have compared him to Hitler, one of the worst mass murderers in the history of the world, and that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden weaponized the court system and the justice system in this country against Donald Trump in an attempt to imprison him. He sat through a courthouse for 7 weeks this past year, and the Democrats were hoping he would go to jail for it. That is real political violence that has led to 2 heinous assassination attempts on President Trump's life that, by the grace of God, he was able to escape, and he is here with us today. So yes, President Trump knows a little bit about political violence because he's experienced it himself. And talking about the tragic realities of war that Liz Cheney and her father, Dick Cheney, have got this country into is not political violence. It's talking about the reality of the foreign conflicts that the Washington, D.C. establishment have sold out young Americans to for decades.
Yet, of course, after those attempted assassination attempts on the former president's life, his opponents reached out to him and said they do not accept political violence. That has been a key difference. I do want to play you.
No, please. His opponents are saying to this very day the same rhetoric that led to those 2 assassination attempts. The second attempted assassin on President Trump's life echoed the sentiment that President Trump is a threat to democracy. And if you're a deranged lunatic and you're mentally ill, you will believe that lie. And yes, you will take political violence like we have seen in 2 instances against President Trump. Last week, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris said that everyone who showed up to President Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden was a Nazi. That's despicable, dangerous, divisive rhetoric that is spewed by the Democrat Party every single day. And I am so sick and tired of the media pointing the finger at Donald Trump and saying that he is sowing division in this country. He is not. The media is for pushing hoaxes like the one that you all pushed today, and the Democrat Party is for pushing lies about him. But the good news is Americans don't buy it. And that's why today in 2024, President Trump is more popular than he has been since 2016 because people don't trust the media and they're not buying the Harris campaign's closing argument that he's some great threat to our democracy because they lived under him for 4 years as president and our democracy and our country was stronger than it is today.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, wow. Is that what it's like watching my videos? I mean, in terms of being screamed at. So yeah, there's those old Democrat double standards popping up again. It's like anytime the media and Democrats can connect rhetoric to some kind of violence that happened, they are unrelenting. But when their rhetoric ends up exactly like even schlubs like me predicted, they run these damage control ops and claim that Democrats all denounced it, yet they continue the rhetoric right along with the media that claims they denounced it. They did the exact same thing in 2017 after a Bernie Democrat opened fire on a group of Republican congressmen while screaming, "This is for healthcare." All the media coverage was about both sides needing to tamp down the rhetoric and even blaming Trump. All right, now to on more of a fun clip of Joe Rogan and Elon Musk discussing how much they love Scott Jennings.
Scott Jennings on CNN is good.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh my God, he's great.
he's great.
It's
like
just funny watching
logic
him speak
and reason.
logically to these people, and they freak out.
Yes, it's remarkable.
It is. And he's so calm when he does it.
Yeah,
He's so good, and it's crazy that they keep letting him do it because it's like he's just dunking on these people over and over and over
Yeah.
again, and they never score. It's kind of funny.
totally.
I mean, kudos to them for having a legitimate conservative voice who's a reasonable person on these panels now. But even then, he's outmanned. It's like one of him, and there's a bunch of screechy, woke people. And it's wild. I mean, they're like, I think we should still stay mostly woke. Like
Yes.
Yeah, that's essentially what they're doing. They're like, our business was being hurt when we were all woke, but let's stay mostly woke.
Yeah,
That way
they just backed it off a notch.
Just a notch. Just
Yeah.
a notch. But it's not, the problem is when you back it off a notch and you let someone like Scott Jennings in, you're fucking up your whole business.
Yeah.
Because all the viral clips are all him saying logical, reasonable things with a
Yeah.
calm tone and people screeching
Yes.
about diversity and equity and and horseshit.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's like being logical and reasonable, and they're just lobbing a bunch of non sequiturs that don't mean anything.
Not much else to say except for that I totally regret sometime in the past saying that Scott Jennings was totally milquetoast and weak.
What an asshole.
It wasn't long after he finally decided to take the gloves off. Or did CNN finally allow him to say the things he wanted to say? Some are saying that he deserves his own show, which he definitely does, but I highly enjoy him wiping out entire stacked panels. Let me know what you all think in the comments, and don't forget to hit that like button. All right, now moving on to the next one, and you absolutely have to see this one because it is a jaw-dropping conversation between Bill Maher and his panel of all Democrats about the possibility of getting rid of elections.
What the actual did you just say to me right now?
Question. What do you do when people like a party and elect it? What do you do when the people get it wrong? Because sometimes they do. Sometimes they do get it wrong. What do you do when the people do that? When the people want the wrong party? Do you cancel elections? Because that doesn't seem like the right thing either.
So, many years ago, I coined this phrase, illiberal democracy, meaning when a majority of people vote for a party that then systematically gets rid of freedom of the press, gets rid of independent judiciary. You do, and it's a danger. It's a really dark place. Some people would, look at some of the things Trump is doing here and wonder whether that's the direction we're headed to. This is the vice president who said that he would have annulled the election of 2020.
The worst possible messenger for this message.
He's the guy saying, don't annul elections.
They have no sense of cognitive.
Don't annul elections. Do it the way we did it, with a good riot.
As if we'd end the movie like that.
There it is again. More proof that Democrats really believe that democracy is literally just Democrats in charge. Literally. Rahm Emanuel makes the comment about J6ers rioting after the election, and then Bill Maher says something about Trump and MAGA people not having the cognitive function to be able to see or have the self-awareness to see the hypocrisy of that. Yet they're the ones that don't have the self-awareness enough to know that it was Democrats that started the trend of denying election results and rioting in response. I mean, Democrats literally rioted for 4 years after Trump won the first time. Then their brains have to do all these mental gymnastics to rationalize authoritarianism as different when they do it. Then Zakaria does this by claiming democracy is now over because Trump's supposedly getting rid of the free press and independent judiciary.
Does all this sound at all familiar to you?
Weird, because aren't those all things that we have been saying for years that have already been captured by the left? All right, folks, what do you all think? Hit that like button and let me know in the comments. If you're still here, might as well subscribe and make sure to keep checking back for more content because I do post on a regular basis. If you just can't get enough of Dronetek, make sure to give me a follow over on X as well.